guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about how my breastfeeding journey is unfortunately coming to an end sooner than what I wanted it to. Unfortunately, I don't think my body is capable of going past 6 months. I don't know why. Once I get to a point, I start to lose too much weight. I start to feel the effects of breastfeeding in a negative way. Even though I'm taking my prenatals, even though I'm taking meal replacement bars, even though I'm literally taking in extra calories and vitamins and stuff that I need, it still happens to me. I don't know why. So something happened 2 months ago that made me want to stop right then and there. So it was around 3 or 4 in the morning, and normally when I finish my session of pumping, I turn the level back down to 1 so that way I'm ready to go for the next one. There's 10 levels on my pump, and as I mentioned in my other video, this pump is very, very strong, and I can handle the intensity of the pump at level 9, level 10, and that's how I'm able to pump very quickly. Within 7 to 8 minutes, I'm able to empty out a boob. But I forgot to lower down the intensity level back down to 1 when I finished. So it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I put the pump on and turned on the pump, and it was on level 9, and it just grabbed my nipple. It basically ripped the right side of my nipple. I could grab it and move it to the left side because it was no longer fully connected to me. It was bleeding like crazy. It hurt so bad. I was in tears. I screamed and everything. I was like, this is it. This is how I'm gonna end my breastfeeding journey at 3 months over an accident. So I made a game plan. I'm lube it up as much as possible every single time that I pump. Even with doing that, it was hurting so bad. It would take me 25 minutes, 30 minutes to just empty out this side because I had to go so slow, and I had to stay on the lower levels for a long time. I couldn't get to level 9, level 10 again because it was that painful. I can't just pump from one side. Once you stop pumping on the one, you tell your body basically that you don't need any more milk. It starts to slowly not make as much milk anymore. So I kept doing it regardless of the pain. I was just, I kept power pumping to try to bring my supply back. I would sit there for such a long time. I have a toddler at home too, so I couldn't sit there every single time for an hour to pump 5 times a day. So I slowly dropped down to 4 sessions. Then I dropped down to 3 sessions, and I wasn't making enough milk. Melina right now is drinking 6-7 ounces of feeding 5-6 times a day. She's drinking so much milk, it's crazy. But she was like that from the very beginning. At week 6, I still wasn't healed because I was pumping every 5 hours. So every time that it was starting to close, I would pump and I would reopen the cut all over again. And it was just that constant cycle. It just made my pumping journey that much harder. And then I got sick with COVID. Those first few days of having COVID were really, really difficult on my body. I was basically bedbound all day because I had a fever on and off. I had the really bad body aches, and nobody wants to sit there and pump when you're sick, let alone pump with a already painful nipple and an injury on top of it all. And I'm like, great, now this is definitely going to be the reason why I have to stop, because I don't have any energy or motivation at this point to keep going. In that moment, I made the decision, okay, I'm just going to go down to pumping only 3 times a day, which was in the morning, 1 in the middle of the day, and then before going to sleep. That's it. And I'm just gonna keep doing that until basically I dry out, because your body will eventually just dry out. So I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, and now that I'm all healed and better and I no longer have COVID, I'm trying to bring my supply back. My nipple unfortunately isn't completely healed yet, but it is a lot better, and I've basically just been lubing it up like crazy. I've been air drying a lot. The only way that it's gonna heal, being exposed to air will help it heal faster. So yeah, so I'm still struggling with that, but at least I'm no longer sick. So my new game plan is, I know that I'm not going to make it to a year, and I've accepted it. I cried about it. I'm okay with it. To be honest, those times when I wasn't pumping as much, I was like, wow, this is gonna feel so nice when I no longer have to pump anymore or breastfeed anymore, because I'm gonna actually have my body back completely. And pumping does take a lot of time from you, but it's so rewarding. I love the fact that I'm still able to give her breast milk, even though I couldn't do the traditional breastfeeding technique because it just wasn't for us. I was able to still provide for her the breast milk by pumping, and I love that there was a third option out there for me. My goal is to make it to 6 months. Right now she's 4 months and 1 week old. So I went downstairs into my deep freezer and I counted all my bags of milk and all the milk that I freezed from my freezer stash, which I made it to about 850 ounces, which I'm excited for, but I already started using a bunch of them. I calculated that if I continue to pump 3 times a day, I can defrost 2 of my bags, which have 5 ounces each, every single day, and I can make it to 6 months. And then once I make it to 6 months, I'll decide there whether I am just going to supplement with formula and just keep breastfeeding, whether I only get 10 ounces or 5 ounces, whatever. Any ounce of breast milk is great. I'll decide then if I'm just gonna keep pumping whatever little I can get, or if I'm just gonna stop altogether once I run out of my milk stash supply and then just completely switch her on to formula. I'm so sad to be making this video because I didn't think I was gonna make this video until she was a year old, and it was gonna be more of like celebratory video because I made it to a year. I was so excited, but I'm not gonna make it. It's okay. I've already accepted it. I already cried about it, and it is what it is. My body, for whatever reason, from the very beginning just goes ham, and I start making so much milk that I was able to build this supply, which is amazing. That's gonna get me to 6 months without having to buy a formula yet. So that in itself is awesome that I have that option that I can supplement with my own frozen breast milk. I'm proud that my body has been able to do it this far. Last time I had to stop at 6 months because I was losing too much weight and it became really unhealthy. She's already 4 months old and I've already dropped 7 pounds below my pre-pregnancy weight. That in itself started to scare me a little bit because that was the same thing that was happening to me before. My regular pre-pregnancy weight where I'm comfortable at is 145, 148, around there. My pre-pregnancy weight with her was 146 and I'm already at 139 pounds. I don't want to go below 130 because with Zeke dropped down to 125 and I just looked way too skinny, you guys. Like, it just didn't look like me. I've always been on the thicker side and I like being on the thicker side, so I don't want to also risk myself losing all that weight again. I feel like in this pregnancy journey I have had so much obstacles against me, from my nipple basically almost getting ripped off to having to recover from that, getting sick, starting to lose weight like crazy. I did start to lose my hair, which was one of the side effects that I had last time too, and it took a while for it to begin. It's starting to take more and more from me. I really just want to be my best healthy self, and I'm content that I'm gonna be able to make it to at least until she's 6 months, and I know that she's still gonna get the nutrients that she needs with formula just like Zeke did. Yeah, this is my little venting session. I'm so sad, guys. I really am, like, really sad because I really wanted to make it to a year, but it's just not in the cards for me. I don't know why. I just don't know why. So this is my little venting session. That's it for today's video. I just wanted to give you guys a little update on my breastfeeding journey. Even though I'm gonna stop in a couple of months, doesn't mean that I haven't learned a lot of stuff along the way and that I'm still going to pursue to become a breastfeeding consultant in some kind of way, in some kind of capacity, because I really am super passionate about it and I really do enjoy doing it. I really do enjoy encouraging others to do it if you can, if it's possible. So that'll definitely still be in the works. But as always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you guys in my next video.